Hey friends, it is Ashley with Charlie Rose Creations. So today we are going to be talking about how to grow your Facebook following. No joke, I have gotten this question over the last 24 hours, I swear like 10 times, from 10 different people. Like, how did you grow your Facebook? Like, what did you do? How can I do that? I only have this many people on my Facebook, and I am on my business page, right? I hope so. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, okay. So anyway, how to grow your Facebook following so that you actually have people to sell to. Because the premise is the smaller the number, the less orders you'll get, right? Because it's a smaller pool of people. The more people you have on your page, the more likely you are to sell more, right? Because you have a larger group of people to sell to. That makes sense to me. So, hi friends, thank you for tuning in again. So anyway, this is just, seriously, I'm not kidding. The number of people who have asked me this has been crazy on Facebook and on Instagram, because I have several people that follow me over there. So I thought I would tune in and talk about this. I have talked about this before. I don't keep it a secret what I did. I totally share that. But here's the thing. And here's what I think gets the majority of people. I'm sorry, I keep messing with this, and I need to leave it alone. It's because the comments for me are like taking up part of my face, and I think that's what was bothering me. Okay, so the thing is, growing your business and growing your following is not easy. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time, and it doesn't magically happen no matter how much we really want it to. So I think it's important to note that I think back in May of 2018, I think I had around 700 people on this page. Less than a year ago, I had 700 people on this page. And now I think it's also important to note that I had been in a business coaching group since the August before that. So I've been in a business coaching group for over a year, and I had heard all the things that she told me to do, but I didn't want to do them. I didn't want to do them because they either cost money or they were hard and very scary for me. And so I chose not to, and constantly wondered, well, why is my page not growing? Like, why aren't I getting new people? I wasn't doing the things I was told to do. So, I think that's the thing too, is that people want to think that it's like a magical thing that happened, that I grew my page, but it's not magical. It's a lot of hard work. So here are the big 3 things for me that are going to help grow your page. Okay, the first thing is that you need to be posting consistently on Facebook. So I try to post normally when I'm actually, now I do take breaks sometimes. Like I took a little break over Christmas, after Christmas, where I didn't really post a whole lot, and I was okay with that. I knew that my growth would kind of slow down for a while, but I was okay with that because I needed a break. But you need to be posting consistently. So what I do is I usually post between 3 to 4 posts a day. They vary in what they're about. Sometimes they're an encouraging word. Sometimes they're a funny meme I came across and I thought other people would relate to it. Sometimes they're pictures or videos of tumblers, and lives also count as one of your posts. So I try to do 4 posts a day. Does every post do wonderfully well? No, but I still do it. And I can't ever guarantee what's going to do well. Some things do great and some things are kind of crappy. So I try to post around 9:30 in the morning. Let's see, around 1:30, and then around 5:30, and then I do this one around 8:30. If I'm not going live, I don't do a post until about 9:30. But since I go live at 8:30, that counts as my 4th post. And then once you actually do your post that's 3 to 4 times a day, when people comment, if you have something that you can say back, you need to respond to them. That's relationship building, which is super, super important. And And where was I going with this? Hang on. It's another reason, like I used to do a bot on my page. I didn't like it just because I felt like I was losing that connection there with people. So I kind of turned that off. And so now I can respond to people there too. And I also respond a lot more on Instagram. It's easier for me over there because I don't have as many people responding to me. But here's the thing is if you are making posts on Facebook and they're all salesy, meaning this pictures or videos of tumblers and you're saying, hey, here's my tumbler, you can buy it for $50. Hey, here's my tumbler, give me some money, give me money, give me money, buy my tumbler, buy my tumbler. People don't want to buy from you because you're too salesy. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but people don't want to be sold to. And if you build your following and you get people to like you, they're going to want to buy from you anyway because they've grown to like you. People purchase from people they know, people they like, and people they trust. And the only way for those three things to happen are if you go live where people can get to know you. Okay? So sorry, I was reading a comment. So that was the next thing. You need to go live on your Facebook page at least twice a week. At least twice a week. People need to see your face. Now, at first, if you're scared, you can set up your camera so that it's facing down, whatever. But people want to hear your voice. So when I write out a post, most people, if they're reading a post that I've written, they hear my voice when they're reading it because they know what I sound like. They know what I stand for. They know my mannerisms, even if they're a little extra, because, I can be a little extra. It's so important. And so that was the biggest thing I did not want to do. I did not want to go live. I didn't want to do it. I had done it a few times before, and then I'd stopped because, no joke, I wanted to throw up. Seriously. I thought that I was just going to just vomit all over my camera, that it was going to be horrible. I'm an introvert. I don't do things like this are not easy for me. If you're an extrovert, it's probably still not easy for you because it's super, super weird. Super weird to do this. You're looking at your face and you're talking to people you can't see. It's very odd. But no, I'm not kidding. It was so beneficial for my page. So when I actually decided, okay, I really want to do this Facebook thing. I really want to get this going. And so what I did is I decided, okay, if 2 days a week is really good, I'm going to do 3 days a week. And then I committed myself to a schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. When I first started doing this, I went Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30 every day. I don't think I missed a day for months. And then when I did, it was like I was way sick or something crazy. But anyway, yeah, I did that from May until September. I went live 3 days a week, every week. At 8:30. People knew when they could see me, so they showed up. I do think that if you're one of those people who's kind of scared you're going to chicken out like I was like, I'm going to chicken out. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to press the button. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit here and stare at my camera and I'm not going to do it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to set a time and days that I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make a post about it. And once it's out there in the world, it is out there. And so this, no joke, people are like, I'm sure you really mean this, but I'm going to pretend that you don't say this because I don't want to do it. And then they ask me, well, I'm not selling as many tumblers as I want, or nobody's liking my page. What do I do? You need to go live. And I know it's scary, but seriously, it was a game changer. It was a game changer. So Yvette's asking, when do you suggest that we go live? Like, as in, how many followers should you have? It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter. You could have 3 followers. Go live. It's going to take you a little bit of time to gain those followers. Y'all, it is so slow going, especially at the beginning. Once you've kind of built up a little bit of momentum and you have more people, the more people you have, the more they share, the more they comment, the more your page grows. But getting there is very slow going, and you have to be patient. I heard a quote the other day, and it is the truest thing I've ever heard. Every single person has enthusiasm at the beginning of a project, at the beginning of a diet, at the beginning of a new business venture, whatever. Everyone has enthusiasm at the beginning, but not everybody has the endurance to see it out. You need to find your endurance and keep doing it, even when it sucks, even when you don't want to. You need to keep doing it. That is the biggest thing I can say. You got to go live. And what would you suggest we do during the live if we're starting out? All right, so a lot of people will go live to glittering tumblers. Y'all, the majority of the people that watch me are, when I do business talks like this, my number is way down, because the majority of the people that follow me actually want to buy tumblers, and a fewer number of the people want to learn from me. That's important. People love watching you actually glitter the tumblers. They love it, especially if they're not a creative person. So you can you can glitter tumblers on there. You don't have to talk about it. You can just chit chat about what's happening in your day. People love to know what's happening in your day. You guys, when I was talking about potty training my daughter, especially on Instagram, the number of messages I got in response to potty training talks was insane. When I said that I was struggling to get my Christmas decor up, it's up. I got it done. All the praise hands, right? Because that was hard. When I talked about that, people can relate to that. You just need to find your people, but you can't find your people if you don't tell them about yourself, things that are happening. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to share all of my personal life. And yes, you don't want to share all of your personal life. My personal life is like this much, and the amount I share on Facebook and Instagram is like this, and that's normal because it's personal. It's my life. So, Keisha, yeah, you know I'm not super great at talking in front of people. Crystal, at this point, I think as long as you're going live, that's great. If you feel like the day of, you're going to be going live at a certain time, maybe add it to the end of a post just to kind of give the people who are watching you some heads up. You can also strongly encourage people, hey, if you want to make sure that you catch my lives, be sure that you sign up to receive notifications for my lives. It's like turn on notifications for lives. And then they'll get a little alert from Facebook to find you. But right now it doesn't matter. It does help if you schedule because people know when to find you. But anything is better than nothing. So no, I would continue. If this is what works for you, keep doing it. So in order to not sound salesy, I chit chat. So when I first started, I just chit chatted. I either just kind of talked about what I was doing, or I'd talk about my day or things that we're thinking about doing or colors that I like. That's another thing. Like, hey, help me choose a color, or ask their opinion on stuff. You can also do live sales. Those really do, those work best when you have more people on your page. The fewer people you have, the less you're going to sell. That's just, so hang on just a second. Okay. How do I deal with trolls? Great question. Delete and block. And so that's something else I've had to learn how to deal with is the more you grow, the more negativity you're going to get. And I'm a tender heart. Very tender-hearted, and I don't have thick skin, and so things hit me hard. And back in September, had a really, really bad experience with people not being nice, and it hit me hard. And awesome, thank you, Shauna. And so that's something I've had to learn how to deal with. And anytime anybody's mean to me, it's still hard. Or anybody gets on my page and it's like weird, it's still hard and just very odd. So, okay, is it let's see. Is it better to have a group or regular page? Okay, that's a great question. To me, and this is from my experience, to me, it's better to have a page. And here is why. A group is not as easy to find. So if you're telling somebody, hey, this is the business I have, I'd love for you to go check out my page or whatever, they're gonna have to join a group even if it's open. And so they're a little more difficult to find. I want people to be able to find me super easily. Think of it like a page in the yellow pages, although we don't have those. I don't think I have any yellow pages, but you know what I mean. It's easy to find. Also with Facebook pages, you can run ads, which is my third point on how to gain followers, is to run ads. You can spend as little or as much as you want. So I have an ad running right now, and you can actually look on my page to see what it looks like. You might have seen it, and that's how you found me. That what I did is I made a lookalike audience. So people who are similar to the people that already like my page, the ad went to them. And it's too in-depth to explain on here and all of that. But there's lots of things that you can do. So anyway, I did that. Now I ran it this time for like $250 lifetime budget. You can do less than that. You can run a continuous ad and only spend a certain amount each day. That's totally up to you. But if it's bringing in more followers, that means it should be bringing in more money if you're selling stuff. Okay, Emily, yes, it's totally normal for people to not talk. Y'all are used to seeing me and what happens on mine. I have a lot more people, so I have people that talk to me. And so it's really a good idea to think about, okay, what am I going to talk about if no one is talking? If no one's talking. And just talk about what's going on in your life. Things that you're thinking about, things you like, whatever. It can be anything. And you guys, your lives really only have to be around 20 minutes to be useful. So if you don't feel like it's going anywhere and you're frustrated or whatever, end it at 20 minutes. Keep a timer. You don't have to run it, do an hour and a half. He's blocked, guys. We already got that. Okay. Oh, man. Hang on. I gotta get my charger. I'm so sorry. I forgot. And then sometimes you have moments like this where you forget something super important, like your charger, so your phone doesn't die. Y'all, these lives take a lot of, they use a lot of my battery every time. So I'm so sorry. Hang on just a second. Okay. All right. Let's see. Kim, yes. Y'all, I don't know if you saw my post earlier today, but my business mentor, Jennifer Allwood, I sent her and her daughter, this is before they brought in a fourth kiddo. I sent her and her daughter glitter tumblers that matched, and she used it on her her training video this week that she did with Brooke from Refabbed. I've talked about Brooke before. She's seriously exploded over the last year. Okay, and I think she has like 380,000 people on her page right now. Y'all, I looked at one of her lives and she had like 1.6 thousand shares. The number of comments she got was ridiculous. And all I can think is if I had that many people sharing my stuff, I'd probably pee my pants. And so that's why it's a good idea for you to grow a little bit at a time, because if you had that many, like, no joke, I would probably, if I had that many people watching me at one time, I'd be like, okay, bye guys. I'm sorry, I gotta go. It's kind of scary. So, yes. No, Amanda, usually if I'm sitting still, it's because I'm reading, because I'm not great at multitasking and talking while I read. So basically to run ads, you need to go to Google and type in Facebook Ads Manager. That's how I do it. It's best to do it on a computer. Don't try to do it on your phone. You're not going to like the results. And then you have this huge menu come up, and there's a button that says Create, and you can go through that. I only run like ads, and that's ads to that will pop up in Facebook. For people who may like whatever I'm doing, and there's a like button there. That's all I'm doing right now because I want followers on my page. I'm not so much worried about getting people to my website. This is more important for me. All right, Nikki, my Etsy shop is closed. I'm not doing it on Etsy. I have a website. It's charlierosecreations.com. It's always the charger, Sarah. Every time it's the charger. I forget every time. Every time. I should make myself a checklist. Things Ashley needs in order to go live. And I forget. I'll still forget. So, let's see. Oh, Jamie, that's so sweet. Yes, Crystal. So that's another thing too is if you want to grow anywhere and like get your business to be like a legit business where you're making like real money, you're making real money anyway, but you know what I mean, like money. I think it's so important to actually listen to people who are ahead of you, who are where you want to be one day. So like Jennifer Allwood is where I want to be one day. I'd love to be sitting there with that many followers and doing the kind of thing that she's doing. And so she's somebody I'm going to listen to. Rachel Hollis is also, she has way more followers, like holy moly, on the number of people that follow her. She's written books. I don't know that I want to do that part, but like she's again, where I want to be. The idea of doing a podcast is super cool for me. I like that idea. I don't know that that's anything I'm going to do anytime soon. But so I watch and I learn from people who are already doing the thing, who are where at a place that looks good for me. And so that's super important too. So Jennifer Allwood does have a podcast. It's called The Jennifer Allwood Show. Oh, Sarah, that's so funny. See, Kim, okay, so I've thought about this before too. Most of y'all know that I am a Christian, and so I believe that God has a plan for the way he does things. So if when I had started going live with as many followers as I had now, and I had 146 people watching me at one time, no joke, I'd pee my pants. Like, I'd probably cry and I'd leave. But he gives you just a little bit more. And then a little bit more. I'm like, okay, you did good here. All right, I'm going to give you just a little bit more. And so that's why I feel like it's super important for you to grow slow. Not too slow. Do the things I told you to do so you're not like stagnant. But it's okay for you to grow slow, because then when you get to be bigger and you're having way more orders than you were at the very beginning, you're not going to panic because the growth has been a slow progression and you've gotten used to things before you moved up to the next level. Nikki Brandy, not sure which, or if that's your full name. My Etsy shop is closed. I have my website, which is charlierosecreations.com. Live survival lists. Shauna's going to make me a list, you guys. It consists of charger. And that's about it. So Robin asked where my page name came from. So when I started this business, I had a newborn because I'm a crazy person. And I couldn't think of a name because, again, I wasn't sleeping a whole lot and decided to take this on. And so I just decided that I was going to use a nicknamed version of my daughter's name. So that's where Charlie Rose came from. And then I tacked on the creations at the end. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, like what I was going to sell. I bought my silhouette and I was like, yeah, I can run a business. Yes, I can do this. Because that's how I think of everything. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Sometimes I think I have more confidence than I should have. And so I get into things and I'm like, But anyway, I added creations at the end because it was generic. So no matter what I decide, what if tomorrow I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do glitter tumblers anymore. I want to do this. My name is still appropriate. I'm not going to do that because I love glitter tumblers, but I could because my name is flexible. Lorinda, yes. So that's exactly why I do that. So Lorinda's asking, when you think about it, if you do the like ad and you just want to grow your page, you don't really need to run any other ads because as your page grows, your business and the amount of orders you get should naturally grow. And yes, that was the way I thought too. So I went from 700 to where I'm at now. I don't really know quite sure what it is right this second. Over the course less than a year. And so in that time, my orders have steadily increased as my business has, as my numbers have increased, which is huge. All right, so people have been asking about the new board. This is the old one. I haven't done the new one yet. I try to give Brandon a little bit of time in between projects because he just finished one. And this one won't take very long, but he also has to go get the melamine board, and he's got to go to Home Depot because Lowe's has a really small one. So, no, I haven't done it yet. At what point did you decide to turn your crafting into a business? At the very beginning. At the very beginning. I am not a person who lacks big dreams. I don't dream small, and I never have. I have huge dreams of what I want my future to look like for myself, for my family, for my business, things where I want them to go. And I firmly believe that there's that verse, the Lord will give you the desires of your heart. And so I don't really feel like you have those desires in your heart if you're walking with him and you are you have a real relationship there. This is just, again, my opinion, how I feel. I feel like those things are things that he's going to bless you with. And that's just what I believe. And so I know those things will come to pass and they will happen because I pray for them. And I keep those really, really sacred in my heart, these big visions I have. So when I first started, I knew I wanted it to be a business, not a craft. And I started as a business from the beginning. Not everybody has to do that. That's okay, but that's just what I did. My Turner instructions are not on the website. Those are in the group. Brandon made like a little PDF of how to put together a single one. But there are YouTube videos that other people have created. I don't know that they're the same exact design. I did do a live the other day where I showed the gist of like how to put it together. Oh, Nikki, you're so sweet. Tickled Whisker. I kind of like it. It sounds fun. And so I'm going to assume that you're a fun person. But if it's something that you like, that's important to you, I say go with what you want. It's a memorable name. People won't forget you. And I think that's important too. How many followers did I have my first year? Like 300, maybe. And they were all family and friends. So nobody purchased from me on my Facebook page. Y'all, I did not take my page seriously until May of this 2018. Not this year, because this is 2019. And I started my business in 2016. So, won't. It was not good for a little while. Oh, Suzanne, thank you. I am pretty excited about it. I was so hopeful. So hopeful that my glitter was going to come in today. This is the biggest batch I've ever ordered. And I kept like peeking out the window. And so my son was like, Daddy's home. I was like, no, Daddy's not home. Nope. Just waiting on the UPS guy. Let's see. Oh, Fran, thank you. Amanda, and that's a great point. So you have to remember every single person starts with 0. Literally every person. And the difference between those people who stay small and stay a craft and those people who turn it into a legit business that really provides for their family are the people that are really, really, really willing to do the big, hard, scary things. And that is what is going to set you apart from everybody else. If you're willing to get on here, do the big things. This is big. Y'all, sometimes I still, like today was not a great day. If you watched my stories on Instagram, I tried very hard to be motivated today, but I didn't feel 100%. I just felt kind of yucky. It was like freezing outside, so I just wanted to stay like and read a book and drink some coffee. And it was quiet because my kids were at school. And so anyway, I didn't have a lot of motivation. And so I didn't want to do a whole lot of stuff. But I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know where. Oh, so I didn't want to go on this live. Not necessarily that I didn't want to go on this live, but I didn't feel like 100% up to it. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, like, sometimes you don't really, like, am I really going to be able to give them the encouragement that I feel like they need to do the thing? So, oh, Phyllis, I'm so glad you were able to do that. Let's see. Amy, I don't think that the steampunk trunk necessarily puts you in a box, except that the fact that your name has trunk in it, and that's a box. But I feel like it's not like Ashley's Glittered Tumblers. If that was my business name, that's all I could do. And also, you can change it if you want to. You can always change your business name. You'll just need to re-register with your state, I think, or you may be able to change it with your state, the name, if you contact them. But you can definitely change it on Facebook. Here was the advice I got if you wanted to change your Facebook name. Change one word at a time. That may sound really weird. So your name's going to look weird for a couple weeks, and change them like a week apart. But people rebrand all the time. So if you have something else that's really like tugging at you and you're like, this sounds really good for me, then you may need to change it. And that's okay. You can do that. Just say, hey, I'm rebranding. This is going to be my new name. Let's see. Yeah, I think, yeah, okay. Oh, this is a great question. Would you suggest creating a business Facebook page versus doing it on your personal page? Here's the thing. It is against Facebook's terms of service for you to sell products on your personal page. It's against their terms of service because you are not coming across as a business. You're coming across as a person. And as such, you're not supposed to be selling to other people on your page. That's not why they followed you to begin with. They followed you for your personal stuff. So that's something they're really, really against. So if anybody ever reported you for doing that, you could lose your entire Facebook account, period. So I suggest getting a Facebook page. And plus, too, to me, if you have a Facebook business page, I automatically take you way more seriously than if you just have a personal page. Do I buy from a few people that have personal pages that sell stuff? Yes. A couple of people I went to high school with, but for the most part, if I don't know you, I'm not buying from you. Don't friend me. And plus, too, then you're limited on who you can sell to because it's only people you're friends with. That makes sense? Business page, you can get like, I sell all over. I've sold to people in Australia and Canada, all over the United States. I'm not limited on who my customer is because the entire internet can be my customer. Anybody on the internet. All right. Kayla, that's great. I think 500 is a really respectable number, especially for your first year. Here's another quote I heard one time, and if it's not the dang truth, after being in business for 2.5 years, I don't like, it's just so true. So I heard the quote that you expect more to happen in your first year than is actually going to happen. Okay, so you have these expectations for your first year in business that are way far beyond what's actually going to happen. But you underestimate what'll happen in 5 years in business. And most businesses quit after a year. The percentage of that is really high. I don't want that to be you. I want you to be successful. I'm telling you what to do to grow your Facebook page. Oh, Kim, thank you. Yes. So I didn't show this last night. I should have, and I probably shouldn't be saying this on a Facebook Live, but I was in here getting ready for one of the lives, and my dog was laying there, and then he kind of like lifted up and gave me a little side eye. You know what I'm talking about. And then let out like the longest toot of all time, and my craft room smelled horrible. So, dogs. Oh, Kitty, thank you. Yes, they're a mess. Oh, Jen, that's great. I think big goals and big dreams are super important. If you keep those in your mind, then I think it helps you just keep your endurance. Sarah, yes, I'm all about keeping personal life private. How do I feel about the fab sale groups? I don't know what those are. I'm not in them. I don't post my stuff on the marketplace or on any of that stuff because those people are looking for a deal, and honestly, my stuff is not a deal. I don't do sales on my stuff, and so I don't feel like that's where my customer is, so that's why I don't post there. Facebook sales groups. I feel like I know what you're saying, like the marketplace groups, the like garage sale groups or whatever. Yeah, no, I don't post on there, and I never have. Let's see. All right, if you sell from your Facebook page, how do you take orders? So most people, this is what I did in the beginning. Most people would message me, hey, I'd like to order. Great, can you tell me what you'd like? Blah, 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 blah. And then I would send them an invoice. I'd ask for their email, and they would give it to me, and then I would send them a PayPal invoice. You really need a PayPal business account. You also really need a business checking account, but... Sarah, I feel like, I don't know. I don't remember. I did this 2.5 years ago. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe retail. Shauna says retail. Probably that, since I sell things. Could that possibly change in the future? Sure. Oh, Jamila, great. I'm so glad. Oh, great question. At what point did I make a website? So it's so funny, me and Shauna were talking about this today because I had to think about it. And I actually created my website almost a year ago. It was February 2018 that I created my website. Now, this was, I probably created it before I needed to because I didn't have a ton of orders coming in through my Facebook page. But it was good that I had it there when I started working on growing my page because it was available. So yeah, you don't have to have one. It's not like your business is going to fail if you don't have one, especially at the beginning. Once you grow a little bit more, I would then suggest getting one. So let's see. And Kitty, and that's totally normal. You guys, I made zero money my first year. My first year was also like half a year, but I made zero because I invested all of it back in my business. And that's normal. That is normal for a new business, okay? Especially this type of business. Erin, I think it's cute. I think anything that, here's the criteria I think you should have for your business name. No weird spellings. Don't try to be fancy and do weird spelling things. Because if people like adding Z's on things that don't need Z's or what, you know what I mean? Like just spelling things weird. If you say what it is, so when I say my name is Charlie Rose Creations, they hear what I'm saying. They know how to spell it. Nothing's spelled weird. They can easily find me even if I don't have a business card on me. So you want it to be something that's easy for them to type in and find themselves. And also it needs to be a little bit memorable. I don't feel like mine's super memorable, but it's working for me. We'll keep going with it because I've used it for 2.5 years. But anything kind of catchy or, and the last is something that doesn't limit you on what you can do. So that's why I like, you know, even if you do like something super short that doesn't have to have creations or designs on the end, just something short and sweet, that's okay too, as long as it doesn't box you in on what you can do. Elizabeth, sure. Yes, you can send me that. Amy, it's against Facebook's terms of service to sell on your personal page, and that's called a warm market. So just so you know, there's two different kinds of markets. There's a warm market and a cold market. You are right now working in your warm market. That means people who know you. Eventually, that warm market is going to like dry up. They're gonna have all bought from you, and you're gonna run out of people to sell to. So I highly encourage you to get a business page. Then like invite your friends to like it, and don't add them, but ask them to like it. Say, you know, you can actually just invite them, and a little notification will pop up saying so and so invited you to like this page, and I hope that helps. But yes, I would do a business page, definitely. All right, Casey, I get this question all the time. PayPal fees add up quick. Is accepting payment via a website any different? No, and here's why. At the end of the day, you're a business, okay? And there's always going to there's going to be fees with running a business. And PayPal charges a fee. Stripe, which is the payment processor that processes my credit card payments on my website, also charges a fee. It's less than on Etsy. Etsy, I have to pay more in fees. So this is actually cheaper, but it's just part of the cost of doing business. You have to have somebody who's going to process your payments for you. And then there's a level of protection there for both you and the person buying from you. So yes, PayPal fees suck. They do. I'm so sorry, but you have to pay them. Because if I see anybody, there's those things like Cash App, and like there's some other things that people use where like you can send people cash. If I see somebody that's like, just Cash App me that money, I'm like, no. Mm-mm. I don't take people seriously if they do that. And so, yes, it's frustrating and kind of stinks, but you need to think about that when you price your products. And that's kind of one of the things, like I know I'm not going to get the full price of my product when when somebody buys it. It is what it is. Also pay a lot in taxes. The amount of money that comes out of my checks for taxes is a lot. So thank you, Shauna. 3% is pretty standard. It's all right. It's not a big. I just ignore it. I pretend it doesn't happen, and I don't like look at what comes out. I just look at what my PayPal balance is. Oh, that's a great question. So, she does PayPal invoices, but a lot of the times my orders are local pickup. How can I avoid them filing a claim saying they did not receive their item? I've heard of people who will, I don't have a whole lot of local pickups. Y'all, the majority of my orders are not here. This is not I just don't have a lot of customers here. I didn't really cultivate that here. And so when I first started, like I was just like, let's find everybody. So I like wanted all the people to come to my page. I do have quite a few, especially from like where my kids go to school. That's been really sweet. Anyway, what you can do is get them to sign a receipt. I received blank at, just have a printout, have it already typed up with the date, the time they picked it up, their name, and have them sign it. And then PayPal should be able to take that and maybe write on there what it is. But I haven't had anybody ever do that. And if they did, I'd put them on the naughty list. That like they couldn't order from me again. Stephanie, yes, I have an LLC. I got one before I ever started selling a single thing. I think it was $150. Now I'm in Georgia. $150 to start. And then I think I just registered the other day. Pretty sure it was $50 each year. I have to re-register. What do I factor in when pricing my tumblers? So I do add up all of the product that I put on my tumblers. I actually add up all the product minus the tumbler price, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. So I add up all the things like glitter, epoxy, Mod Podge, brushes, things like that. And I add it all up, and it's actually a lot. It's not as expensive as you think. It's the products or the materials aren't the things that cost the most. And the reason why I do it separate from the price of the tumbler is so that way when I get new tumblers in, it's easy for me to figure out how much it's going to cost, if that makes sense. So I know how much all of the other materials are, And then I add it with the tumbler price. So when I get new things, it's easy for me to figure that out. And then I kind of factor in my time. I try to figure out how much time it's going to take for me to make. So that's why some of my tumblers are more expensive than others. So like solid color and ombre are the cheapest because they don't take as much time. Then my specialty tumblers are even more than that. They're about $10 more than that because they take more time for me to complete them on the glitter end. They take the same amount of time for the epoxy. So that's what I do. I use QuickBooks. I was using QuickBooks self-employed, and then our accountant was like, no, don't do that. So it's like regular QuickBooks. I don't know like what that is, but it's just regular QuickBooks. I think I pay like $12 a month for it, $14 a month for it. Totally worth it for when tax time rolls around. And then it's able to like break it down by month. You can see how much you made, how much you spent on glitter, how much you spent on tumblers. Like it can break all of that down for you. It's really very cool. I don't do all that because that's not my jam. I'm not a numbers person. As long as I've got money coming into my bank account, I'm good. But yeah. All right. So Sheree, I got my LLC before I started selling anything. Kitty, I don't know. I'm sure Facebook has it where that's protected, but I guess I always wanted to be taken seriously, and I'm not saying that you don't or anything like that. That's not, and so that wasn't a thing when I first started, but I wanted to make mine look as professional as possible. And I always worried that people wouldn't want to pay me through the Facebook app because I wouldn't want to pay somebody through the Facebook app because that makes me nervous. And so that's why I did that. But if it's working for you and people are paying you and you like that system, you continue doing that system as long as you like. It's just not something that I would do. Oh, Amy, you're so sweet. You are so sweet. All right, so Rachel, I did make some, so I made some for Christmas. I made a lot for me and my husband when I was first learning, and I wasn't selling any because they weren't great. And then I made a lot for, everybody in my family got one that year for Christmas as I was still working to perfect things. So I was selling other stuff, not selling the glitter tumbler stuff. And I gave them for free because that was coming up. I probably would have given them away for free anyway, but I didn't do it as like a walking advertisement. That wasn't the purpose. The purpose was for me to practice, and I needed other people besides me and Brandon to take tumblers. So I was like, here you go. Everybody gets a tumbler. Everybody. So, oh, Kitty, thank you so much. Let's see. All right, Sarah asked, how did you find your CPA or small business accountant? So Brandon actually found him. He's in Florida. It's so funny. Both of the people, so Shauna is my virtual assistant. So what that means is she doesn't help me with any physical tasks. She helps me do a lot of the things that aren't like the fun things and the things that take a lot of time, but that take away from the money-making aspects of my business. So like I'm the only one that can do glitter tumblers, so she does the things that are easy for her to do that don't have to necessarily be me, if that makes sense. So she's also in Florida, so that is so funny that both of them are in Florida. But anyway, so we are in the Dave Ramsey program. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Something University. What, y'all, it's mom brain. I'm so like, and it's Friday, so it's even worse. Financial Peace University, there. We are in that program, and we're going through that program as we are getting rid of student loan debt and all of that. And so he actually looked to see if Dave Ramsey had any programs that like endorsed small business CPAs, and the only one in our area was in Florida. And so that's how we found him. We talked to him at length on the phone before we decided to hire him. And he also hooked me up with a woman who is in the same area. She works for the company Paychecks, like paychecks, but instead of a CKS at the end, it's just an X, paychecks with an X. And what she does is she drafts my paycheck every month. She calls me and says, hey, how much, and I do it at the end of every month. How much do you want your paycheck to be? And so I tell her, and then she tells me what'll actually be pulled out of my account after taxes and all that stuff they pull out, you know, all the stuff. They also file my quarterly taxes. They do all the things that I don't like to do. So, yes. Brianna, like, I can't get over that it's $800 a year in California. That is crazy. Ivy, yes, I do have 30-ounce skinnies. Do my shipping expenses flow over to QuickBooks? Yes, because I use stamps.com to ship. I actually looked that up the other day because everybody was telling me it costs $15. I don't pay anything. I don't pay anything. There's a free version, and that's what I use, and I haven't had to pay anything. I may upgrade. I don't know what the upgrades include, but anyway, they show up because I have to add more funds to my stamps.com account to ship, because I can't ship like through my website. I just get their address. I have to go somewhere else to actually print my shipping labels, which is a little time consuming, but whatever. So yeah, when it shows up, so QuickBooks is linked with my bank account. So it shows up in my bank account as stamps.com. And so it's classified as postage. No, I don't manually put it. I don't manually put in anything. What does my shirt say? My shirt says Pray Big. And this is by Robin Carr Designs. Robin Carr Designs. She's one of the women. I believe she's still in the inner circle. Cindy, yes, I still make a good profit. You're not at the beginning. I'm just going to be 100% honest. Like, not like you're wanting to, but yes, I still make a very good profit. Oh, Summer, awesome. Y'all are so sweet. Yes, thank you. I'm behind on comments, so y'all are answering me. All right, so asking about what kind of ads you should do. So I've talked to a Facebook ad person. I think I've done it 3 times now. They give me every couple of months, and they want to talk to me, and they know I give them lots of money. And so that's the other thing. Let me just say this too. That's the other thing about running Facebook ads. When you're giving Facebook money, they're like, they watch your account. And they're like, okay, this girl is really growing. And so you may not think that Facebook is watching you, but I can guarantee you that they are. They are. And so if you get bigger, they're going to start being like wanting to roll things out first to your page before they roll them out to others. And there's lots of benefits there. And if you are sitting there going, well, I don't want to give Facebook money. Like, I don't want to pay them. You know, I don't want to do that. Well, I feel like that's a little bit of a limiting idea. It's a little bit of a limiting belief. Every business pays for advertisement. We don't need little mailers in the mailbox anymore type advertisements. All of your customers are on social media. That's where you need to do your advertisements. Every big business does advertisement. Amazon shows up in my account all the time. It's like they read my mind. They know the things I want to buy, and it shows up on my Facebook feed. No joke, it's really creepy. So yes, Facebook ads, you don't want to do it, but it's important. Seriously. Anyway, you want to do a like ad. That's what I think. And then it needs to, they said that, like, mine is like a slideshow type deal. It's really very cool. Videos and slideshows, anything with movement, they said is really good. But my straight up picture ads have done wonderful too. I did like 3 pictures in a row together, and it did really well. So there you go. Sarah, you mean details about like my paychecks person? Because I believe you could make an account, you know, reach out to anybody at Paychecks or email them and, you know, whatever. But yes, I will work on kind of getting some of that stuff together. And if you're interested in using my accountant guy, I'd need to talk with him. I'm going to totally transparent. At the beginning, he talked with us a lot, and the last few months he hasn't. And so I feel kind of like I've been abandoned a little bit. So me and Brandon are kind of like, So we're kind of going to see how he does during this tax season, kind of see what happens, you know, how we feel about all of that, and we may reevaluate and look for someone else. So just to be totally transparent, this is our first time with him. You know, I never want you to give you information that isn't great. I think my little chin's bleeding. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'll work on getting something like that together. An LLC, that stands for Limited Liability Company. So essentially what it is it provides, well, first of all, you should always register with your state if you're running a business. You can run that as a DBA, which is like an individual doing business as this entity. But we chose the limited liability because there was a little bit of protection there between the business and our personal stuff. So if the business got sued, our personal stuff shouldn't be hit quite so hard, but it could still get hit hard. But if you're not selling anything, like Shauna is a virtual assistant, so she's not selling anything, there really should be no reason for anybody to like sue her. So she's the sole proprietor because it's just her. But there's, since I'm a limited liability, I've already got one person. Shauna works as a contractor. She's not an actual employee, but down the road, I mean, I could have multiple employees. And so that's important to have that LLC. For me, it was. Oh, limited liability corporation. Y'all, I'm definitely not like a tax expert. Erin, I think she just closed it. She had it open to like her wait list right now. I believe she's opening it. Jennifer Allwood's opening her inner circle in April. I will probably talk about it then because you guys, I will be in it until really probably like I can't. I pay $47 a month, and here's my viewpoint. If she teaches me something where I sell one tumbler that month, it's worth it. And she has taught me more than I could have ever hoped to learn, and has pushed my business so far from all the things. She's just wonderful. So she's also launching a course in February. Pretty sure I'm going to take that. It's called the Creator's Roadmap. Teaches you how to make money online, and what's really great is it's teaching you how to make money online in other ways besides just selling one product. So multiple revenue streams, which is super important to help bulk up your income. And I know a lot of people don't want to like talk about money, especially creatives, like, oh, I do it because it's fun. Yes, I do it because it's fun. I also do it because it supports my family. And there's nothing wrong with having a job that makes you money. Everybody else has one. Why is it so weird for a creative person too? I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. Oh, Chris, thank you. Any tips on making your business page more professional? I really encourage you to have a picture of yourself as your profile picture. You need to be the face of your company or your business, whatever you're doing. And then, have a really good quality cover photo. I always make sure. I just got it's been several months, I got a light box. Literally the best thing I've ever purchased. My Tumblr pictures look wonderful. It's crazy. So I encourage you to do that and have some sort of, so that your pictures are really good. So that's kind of what you're going to need. Oh, Amy has had experience with paychecks too, and she says they're wonderful. I've had really great experience. I did in December, she hadn't reached out. So her job is, I work with one person at Paycheck. She's in charge of my file, so to speak. And so to make it easier on me and her and just all the things. And plus I was used to being paid once a month because I was a teacher. I just said, pay me once a month and pay me at the end of the month. And so what she does is she contacts me around the 24th or so. And she's like, hey, Ashley, are we still good with the same amount? Do you want to bump it up? Do you want to bump it down? Because, you could have expenses come up. Like, one of the things we're going to be doing soon is getting with like a legit website person. So I'm going to need to be prepared for that expense. And so that may vary what I get paid. And so she's super easy to work with. And so then she auto drafts it out of my business checking account, takes the taxes out, and then puts it in my personal one. It's glorious. Oh, Kitty, that's awesome. Brianna, I don't even know what that is, so no. And I don't believe I need to, because I'm registered with the state. They have my county on file. I don't know. I'll have to look into that though. Jamie, I don't believe you have to be in her inner circle to take the course. No. I think that you get a discount if you're in the inner circle and you take the course, just like she gives you a discount on all the things if you're in the inner circle that's with her. So I got a slight discount. I mean, it wasn't huge, but any discount's great when I signed up for her conference that she's having at the beginning of May. And so I think that's what she does for the Creator's Roadmap. But anybody can join it, from what I understand. Let's see. Crystal, I have not done, so Crystal's asking once we're in the group if anybody's willing to look at websites and give feedback. I haven't done that yet, and not 100% sure if I'm going to, since the group mainly focuses on Tumblr stuff, but I will definitely think about it. Yes. Sarah, I'm pretty sure that my little echo thing might listen to us, but also it happened before we got her. So I don't know. Amazon is just otherworldly. I don't even know. Let's see. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you. Because you guys, so Elizabeth's saying that her 2-year-old says she likes my hair, which is really nice, because this is called my work hair, even though I didn't do work today, like physical work in my craft room today. I did other type of work. And this is dry shampoo, no makeup, all the things. It's just this glorious over here. All right. Does the cold affect the tumblers? Not that I've noticed. Y'all, I've left, I can't even tell you how many times. Y'all have 2 kids. Sometimes getting them out of the car, 4 and 2.5, getting them out of the car and into the house, and with all the bags and all the jackets. If you have kids, if you have more kids than me, then you know even better than, yours is probably even more crazy. Sometimes I forget my tumbler, and it'll sit in there when it's like super freezing and nothing's happened to it. And it'll also sit in there when it's hot and I haven't had anything happen to it. But I also use FX Premium, which has like a 500-degree Fahrenheit heat tolerance, I think is what I'm looking for. Michaela, I have a Wix website, and I pretty much made it from scratch, and here's how I did it. I looked at websites that of people who were higher above where I was at, and I picked things that I liked that they did, and I added those to my website. No joke. That's what I did. And so, yeah. Yeah, Chris, you notice I didn't say her name this time. I didn't say it this time on this live. Yeah. Brianna, there is no importance of hashtag only on Facebook. If I do a hashtag, or if there's a post with hashtags, it's because either it got cross-posted from Instagram, or because I thought the hashtag was funny, or whatever. I do hashtags in my group, so it's easier to find the thing if you're searching. So if I have a post that's about epoxy, I'll do hashtag epoxy, so that way when you search the group, you can search the hashtag that thing. It's easier to find it. But I don't do it on my page for any particular reason. I don't do inventory on my cups. No. So I just have, because that's really hard to do on Wix when there's a bunch of things. And so when I'm running low, I just buy some more. And so no, I don't. Sarah, thank you for the heads up. So that means I'm going to be finishing up here soon. No, I don't do inventory on my cups. The only thing I do inventory on is my glitter because it's a limited amount. Oh my gosh. Amy, a low of 3 today. Oh no. It was 32 degrees this morning, and that was too cold for me in Georgia. So I can't, Samantha, I can't say it because then she'll know I'm talking to her. You know, it's my little echo. Okay, yes, I have someone that does my paycheck for me. This is a recent development, very recent development. Okay, thank you guys. I can't say it out loud or she'll think I'm talking to her. Okay, I think this was really, hopefully a really beneficial live for you guys. I know that growing your Facebook page is very frustrating, and you are probably frustrated that you're not getting as many orders as you want. Totally been there, totally done that. It does get better, but it does take a lot of work. And so if you're willing to put in the work for it, it will be so beneficial for you, but you do have to work at it. So, yeah. All right, so Elizabeth, we usually don't cross post on Instagram and Facebook. I may use a similar post, but I don't cross it over because Facebook does not like that. They're a jealous boyfriend. They don't want you to go anywhere other than Facebook. Yes, that's why I'm not saying it, because it'll set off everybody else's. Oh, Stacy, you are so welcome. I love doing this. I don't know how to say your name, Danielle. Yes, you are so welcome. Kimberly, I did not know that, and I'm going to have to check into that, so that way if I talk about her, everybody's not... Sarah, you guys, I pray for y'all all the time. Just so you know, not your specific names necessarily, but people who are trying to run a business and stuff like that. I pray for you guys all the time. Liz, yes, Facebook does own Instagram. They still are a super jealous boyfriend. No joke. They do not like you going somewhere else. They don't like when you cross post. Those posts never do as well. And statistically, like according to our data. And so, yes, I know that they are owned by the same people, but yeah, they still, Danielle, great, yay, because normally I butcher names. So, all right, guys, so Elizabeth, no, you can post the exact same thing on Facebook and Instagram if you want to, just don't cross post them. So what I mean is don't post on Instagram, but also like there's a little thing like, oh, do you want to also post this to Facebook? Don't do that. Just copy and paste it. They just, for whatever reason, it doesn't do as well. Yeah, so these are the live sale tumblers that are done. I have a few that I'm still finishing up. That's why I said 1 to 2 weeks, because it's fairly normal, and I don't necessarily always work on weekends. So, all right, you guys, if you don't come hang out this weekend, I hope you have a great weekend, and yeah, thank you for hanging out. I'm always so honored when you come to show up. All right, bye, guys.